Hey everybody, what's going on? This is wilkyb, and I hope that this is the first time that you've ever heard of me, because that would mean that my strategy to reach a new audience is working. In this video and in future videos, I play into the algorithm because the target audience who I create my videos for on this channel, I've been banned from. I don't have access to the places where these kinds of videos are most relevant, so that's a bummer. So, for the record here, this video is not a ban appeal, and I don't really care to reintegrate myself into this society that I've been banned from. I just don't care about these things anymore. I just don't care. My intention with this video is to draw attention to the story that I have to tell here, and to convert that attention into the creation of something new altogether, whatever that may be, because I'm sick of this bullshit. On this channel, I've been producing content for the turn-based strategy game called Advance Wars, which is a Game Boy Advance game that was released by Nintendo in 2001, which is hilarious to say out loud. I play this game on a website today called Advance Wars by Web, which is essentially a community-run simulator of the original Game Boy Advance game that's been put onto a web browser by a private group of people not affiliated with Nintendo. To this day, in 2025, Advance Wars is the most popular turn-based strategy game, and Advance Wars by Web is where everybody goes to play this game competitively in 2025. Users on this website can play in the ranked competitive ladder that they host there. You can also create and share maps with other users in this game's custom map designer. And map designs are where this game really gets its complexity from. And for 7 or 8 years now, I've been making maps on competitive 1 vs 1 maps on this website, Advance Wars by Web. So on Advance Wars by Web, there's a group called the Map Committee who curate the pool of competitive maps which users choose from when they're playing their competitive ranked matches against each other. The Map Committee has rules and guidelines for map making, and they use those to help determine the complexity of a map. And that's where the drama ensues. So if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail of this video, the drama ensues between myself and the Map Committee when selecting maps for their competitive global league. And that is that I don't follow their rules for map making while still insisting that my maps should qualify for their competitive league. The first year that I designed maps on Advance Wars by Web, I quickly learned that if you don't follow their rules for map making, set by the Map Committee, then you'll just be treated like shit by both community members and community leaders writ large. The justification for this shitty treatment refers back to what I call the Bible of mapmaking, which is essentially a codified text compiled by the leaders of this community with contributions from its community members. This text describes the common scenarios in this game that you'll often encounter, and how the logic of those scenarios typically plays out. And this Bible is logical, and it's good to study, and it applies to a lot of stuff that happens even on my own maps. But the funny part is where this Map Committee would never admit to that because they just hate my guts because I don't follow their rules for map making. The Map Committee never addressed the things that I present to them, and instead they tar and feather my personal reputation for things completely irrelevant to the new map design concepts I introduced to them. Instead of addressing my arguments, they ban me from their community and tell people that I'm angry and should be avoided. People in this community treat this Bible as a form of proof rather than as descriptive evidence, which is what it is. A text that somebody wrote in any context is an interpretation of physical phenomena. And in the context of this game, Advance Wars by Web, a replay is the reproducible physical phenomena which should be treated as the primary form of proof. But in this community, that's not what happens. If you want your map to reach the competitive league on Advance Wars by Web, then you have to manifest the logical descriptors of the Bible of mapmaking into a custom map. The style of competitive maps on this website have been so massively reproduced that, in my opinion, the only thing that actually distinguishes one map from another is the name of the author who happened to be buddies with the Map Committee at that particular time. If you don't get along with the people who make up the Map Committee on this website, then your map stands no chance. The only way to convince the map committee is by self-referencing the Bible of mapmaking, which is like the definition of circular logic. Self-reference is the reason why the meta of this game hasn't changed in well beyond a decade. Part of the reason why my mapmaking contributions are ignored completely is because I've developed a standard of proof in the past couple of years that shifts the burden of proof from the faithful follower of the Bible to actually getting that person to produce a replay to back up the things that they say. People in this community don't produce replays to back up claims that they make, and when you do, people get pissed off at you. So in an effort to thump the Bible thumpers, I've developed a standard of proof as a solid reference to dispute their Bible. When I exhaust as many possible build orders and movesets on one of my maps in the form of replays, then it's of no use, because that's not the same standard that the map committee uses to determine the complexity of their own maps. And I believe that my standard of proof is a better measurement of the complexity of maps than what the Bible can possibly measure. You can understand a bit better what I mean when I say standard of proof if you watch this video here. Community members feel uncomfortable to engage with the content that deviates from the rules of mapmaking because they're afraid of receiving shitty treatment like I do. When I make positive claims about my own map, then what happens is people just won't engage with the content because it's seen as too controversial. And then when you do what's necessary to draw attention to your map, which is drawing comparison to the current standard competitive maps, then people get incredibly defensive. People in this community are so sensitive when defending their own maps. It's so funny. The leadership in this community, and a decent chunk of their followers, actively damage the reputation of dissenting mapmakers to discourage onlookers from doing something similar. Creative ideas are being consumed by the Bible of self-reference, and then pointing to the Bible of self-reference is the justification for treating people shitty. Personally, I don't think I'll ever be able to reintegrate myself into this society. People here are actually brainwashed, and the consistency of this map committee to neglect the ideas that I produce has created a cultural schism so wide that I don't see any way that it could possibly be bridged. The group that's meant to be bringing significance to significant things on this website isn't doing that, and the more that I point this out, the further that they distance themselves and other people from me. When some of my previous videos gain a bit of traction in the sub-communities that I'm part of, that I actually still have access to sending these videos to, then does the leadership of Advance Wars by Web reach out to me to tell me to shut up. People in this community rarely voice chat, and instead will happily bait you into saying something silly out of frustration. Online communities have a tendency to be incredibly unforgiving because it's so easy to refer to the permanent things that people say in their Discord logs. People refer to things that I've said 7 years ago as a means to maintain this narrative that MC maps are the bee's knees and that people who deviate from those rules are just stupid. So I'm trying to break away from all of this. That's the purpose of this video, is to find new people so I don't have to deal with all of this nonsense. If you are a game developer or you have you're working on a turn-based strategy game, then reach out to me. I can't assure you that we'll get along, but I've got some decent input, and maybe we can make something work out there. It pains me how stagnant and lacking the complexity of the meta has been for the past 15 years. This website essentially hosts the namesake of the Advance Wars franchise. They have the largest concurrent user base of any turn-based strategy game to date, and they've been playing Connect 4 for the past 15 years thinking that they've solved mapmaking. So, just to recap, but this community is antisocial, and the leaders are incompetent when it comes to map designing, and people come here to Advance Wars by Web because there's nowhere else to go. So I want to create a place where people can openly express their ideas for map making that I know that they have, but they can't go to public places to express that. So for now, you can join the Discord channel that I've got in the link in the description below. And you can like and subscribe and send this video to people who you think might appreciate this story or enjoy playing this game, you know? So come join the Discord and come hang out and play the game. This game is a lot of fun, but just the community sucks the life out of it. So I can teach you guys how to play. And yeah, so come on, join and have a good time. So I think this whole story is pretty funny. I don't mean to piss people off, but that just seems to be incidental of the kind of map designs that I make. So anyways, you guys like and subscribe and send this to people who you think might appreciate this. And join the Discord, okay? Thank you. wilkyb signing off. Cheers.